chances that I missed. Some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve.
Good morning, Robertson County. This is 1100 WSGI. That's the Ridgetop Ramblers singing us in as usual. We love those guys. And, save the date. Third weekend in May. That's going to be the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. You will see those guys. That's why all this kind of started. The idea for One Street Over, because I heard that song and I was like, man, that's a great theme for a talk show. And it's a long story. We're not going to get into that. It's got Jamie NIxon in the house. And we'll go ahead and turn your mic up. You're tired. I said, as soon as you walked in, I was like, well, how the guys do? And, because I'm not from East Robertson, so I don't know all the stuff. And I need to, before we get into it, let me get the Bible reading here.
Go ahead.
So we are on March 9th, guys, and I apologize. I have neglected to give you the Bible reading. So where we are right now, we're on March 9th, so we're in Deuteronomy 24 through 27 and Psalm 61. And just full confession here, I've already gotten through Deuteronomy. I've got to go back and catch up my Psalms. And I'm doing this with the audio Bible because I'm having a hard time sitting down and turning the pages. I want to do that, and my plan is over spring break I'm going to kind of spend some time just in devotion and go back through my emails that Rachel has sent me and kind of delve into it a little bit more and do a little bit more deep study while I've got a little bit more time. But I encourage you, if you really want to go through the Bible in a year, use that audio Bible, because I'll find myself listening to chapters over and over going, okay, did I hear that right? And it's really helped me tremendously to pour through it. And on the Psalms, when I'm trying to catch those up, I'll just run one after another. And it's such a time of praise and worship. I mean, it just really is. And I have really enjoyed just letting the Psalms roll and just one right after another. And so I encourage you to read through the Bible, constantly be in the Word, this is a great way to do it. Rachel's put together a wonderful daily reading schedule, and so reach out to Bethlehem Baptist and see what they've got going on. But again, March 9th, we're Deuteronomy 24 through 27 and Psalms 61 if you're reading along with us. Thank you, and hope you're doing well with that. So, basketball. What's going on with the round ball?
Well, Indians advanced in the sectionals / sub-state on Monday night, and it was crazy. Coach Brown, Pat Brown, who was here with us, athletic director, Monday morning, he was actually at the game. He texted me after the game, and he said, he goes, that gym was loud. And I was like, yes, it was. It's probably the loudest I've ever
I can imagine.
Heard that gym. Well, I mean, but you got to take
exciting.
Yeah, but you got to remember, gym was built for the beginning of the 90-91 season. Is that correct? Yeah, then we 91. Yes. So, because it was my junior year and my senior year was the first 2 years. That's the reason why I'm trying to remember. So in 92, we hosted the district, we hosted the region, and when we won the region, we hosted the sub-state. So we didn't play a single game on the road until we went to Murfreesboro in 92. And now that's the only year that we lost the state championship. That's the only silver ball, and I make fun of it so nobody else can make fun of it before me, because I used to get, you look at the trophy case. Not a long time ago, but 10 years ago maybe.
Yeah.
They had a trophy case there at the school, and the 4 gold balls, the state championships, were inside, and the silver one sat outside of the glass on top, like it was like the stepchild, and it was kind of like, and it was like, hey, you're only, so then they made a big, huge new trophy case, and they put it inside, and then so it made some of us guys from 92 feel better. But that gym was loud that day too. But and then they've hosted several, 2, 3 or 4 other sub-state games in there, and there's been some big games in there last year for the region versus Clay County and things like that, and it's been loud, but not like that.
Oh wow!
It was so loud that I'm on my headset and I can't hear me talk through my mic, So I'm turning my mic up so I can hear myself a little bit. I go back and watch the broadcast later, and I'm like, ooh, it's kind of distorting a little bit, because I couldn't hear myself.
Couldn't hear yourself, yeah.
Couldn't hear myself.
That's amazing.
So we were basically we were behind the entire game for 3 quarters until coming up into the 4th quarter, and we made some plays and they didn't. And at one time we were down 16 points.
No, really?
Yep. And then,
how exciting.
They were a great team. They were a gritty team. They were a very well coached team, very well disciplined, passed the ball, moved around, played good defense. They had a young gentleman. His last name was Frady, Frady. His first name right now escapes me.
Frady.
Frady. Mm-hmm. And he had 4 threes. I mean, he couldn't miss in the first half.
Huh.
And a lot of them couldn't miss. And then in the second half, Coach Caton asked the team, said, "Hey, we need somebody to shut him down." And senior point guard Sean Groves goes, "Well, let me guard him." And Sean started face guarding him the full length of the court, not letting him even have the ball.
Oh wow!
He only made 3 points in the whole second half.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! So he just absolutely shut him down. Frady. Now who did y'all play?
We played Van Buren County.
Okay, where is that? I'm trying to.
It's in it's down past Sparta, down that way, down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess the thing is, Frady, that sounds like I had some Egyptian friends with the last name Frady, and so I'm wondering, okay, what's the background on that? But anyway, that just kind of perked my interest whenever I heard that name. But anyway, so that's fascinating. I love high school athletics, and give me some time, guys. Let me kind of get my bearings on this teaching thing, and you're going to see me at these games because I enjoy it. I'm just trying to learn right now. But I just think that's so exciting. I would have loved to have been there to have seen that. Now, where do you go from here? Where's the game?
So they play next Wednesday.
Okay.
At 4:30.
Oh, wow.
In Murfreesboro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first round. And we drew Middleton. Who?
What does that mean?
Middleton is a high school, Middleton High School.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you look at the bracket.
They have one loss.
Okay. So they're going to be tough.
that by record they're probably the toughest team.
Oh.
I haven't got a chance.
Not
to
who
look-
you wanted to draw, really.
Probably
Yeah.
not. I haven't. At this point, the top 8 teams, they're all they're all there for a reason.
You bet.
And so some people have a different outlook on when you want to draw a better team. Maybe you don't want to draw the better team because maybe somebody else can knock them off before you get
Yeah.
there. Some people, they call Murfreesboro the glass house because it's all that glass windows, and certain spots on the court, it makes you feel like you're outside, and it's so big, from a lot of high school kids that don't get an opportunity to play in those positions. I mean, in those situations or in those locations. Sometimes that gym, the crowd, everything like that can be a little bit overwhelming. Middleton's been there before, so they have some players that's on their team that's been there, and they'll be ready to play. But at the same time, sometimes you like to catch people earlier on so that you can, the thing is, if you want to be the best, you might want to beat the best. And so in that way, that when you do have that championship, that you understand that you played probably the toughest road to get there. Some people look at that a different way. That's just all opinion and preference. But to me, Laverne, this is personal, because Middleton is who beat us in the state tournament in '92.
Oh.
So to me, this is like I need
Comeuppance.
I need this 2023 team to avenge something from over 30 years ago for me.
Do it for Jamie. For Jamie.
But,
you got this.
But yeah, so that's that's a little that's one of my biggest life learning experiences is some people never make it here. Like and what I'm about to say is it's not about bragging or boasting, but everybody that plays high school sports, no matter if it's baseball, softball, track, field, wrestling, whatever it is, they want to be a state champion. That's the highest level that you can be.
Yes.
If you don't want to be that, then you have to ask yourself, why are you even doing it? Why are you even going through it? And so for something that you have dreamed about, I don't know what's harder, getting there to the very end and losing, or never making it, because I understand the pain of getting to that point and then not finishing the job. And, but that has taught me and the guys that play with me, the seniors that play with me, so much more in life. Is like, it's kind of like you look back and you're like, okay, slow down, don't cut corners, do the things, you always think, could I've done more? Could I've done more? Could I've done more? During that game, I think we all left it out there on the floor. I just think that if we could go back and do it over, we might have prepared a little bit differently. At the time, Middleton had a 7-foot guy, and our tallest guy was 6'2". Me and 2 other guys were 6'2". So we were worried about the 7-footer who went on to play for the UT Vols and went on to play for the Boston Celtics. But it was a little guard by the name of Ricky Jones that tore us up. And even our assistant coach, rest in peace, the great Melvin Sharklet, he even come to me and said, he apologized. He goes, man, me and Coach are sorry. We just never thought Jones could do that. And Jones had a big, huge game, and we just, they'd never seen it on film. They scouted it, and we just really wasn't worried about him from that capacity. So anyways, I'm going to share that story with the team, hopefully, and tell them, hey, I need you to go win a game. Because, unfortunately, I'll be in Orlando for some work stuff that I have to be a part of, so I really need them to win on Wednesday. When they win Wednesday, then we'll play Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
We'll play Friday and win on Friday. You play on Saturday for the championship. So yeah, that's going to be my challenge to them, is that they, that they go win that game on Wednesday. So there'll be another game for when I get back.
Okay. Well, see, and when you were talking about sub-state, I don't know, I thought that if they can lose and still be playing. No, it's like when you're done at this point.
So the way it goes in our district, the top 4 people went to the district. So you just got to be the top 4 out of the district. So So you could lose the district championship. You could lose the second game of the district and still be in your top 4. Then you go to the region. You've got 3 games in the region. You've got to win 2 of them. You've got to make it to the region championship. Now, you can lose the region championship. If you lose the region championship, because we did that last year, we actually went on the road and beat Van Buren at their gym. This year we won the region championship. We beat Pickett County. So Van Buren had lost their region. So, last year they won their region. This year they lost their region, so they had to travel to Cross Plains.
Okay. And so the game you played Monday was a sub-state, and
Yes.
now you're at state. Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm with you.
And they call it sectionals now. I don't like that. TWSAA, change it back.
Like sub-state better. Well, and it's just so different from what I was accustomed to so many years ago. And my students remind me, you're really old, Miss Vivio. I'm like, I know. But it was just, you're done. And so that's why I'm just trying to get accustomed to it, because I know that the girls at Greenbrier were in long. I thought, oh, y'all still playing?
Yep.
You're trying to keep up with it.
Yeah,
and,
they were in the region, and I believe they lost that game that they lost. If they would have won that game, they would have then went to the region championship.
Right.
And if they lost that, they still would have went to sub-state. They would just had to travel. They would have had to play it somewhere else.
Right. So they did really well. They did really well.
Yep. Kudos to them. And there was a Heritage boys had a couple wins that I would say even if you ask them and their coach, that was kind of surprising wins to them as well.
So very good. Talking with Jamie NIxon. He is with NIxon Pro Media and all things East Robertson. We are very intentionally trying to do more sports here on One Street Over, because it's such a big part of a small community. Your high school athletics, such a big part of what goes on in the community. So we want to definitely shine a light on it, and we just make this appeal to you. If you're at one of the other schools, come on in here. We, reach out to Jamie, reach out to me, and we will give you equal time. He talks a lot about East Robertson because that's his alma mater. That's where he is, and that's where your kiddos are, and all things. You do the broadcast for them there. So we've got all these things going on with these other schools. We got to hear from you so we can actually cover all that. But he still comes in, and whatever's going on in the other schools, he covers that as well. So even though that's his primary focus, he's hitting all the bases. But we still have this team in the state. So that's a big deal. Yep. That's a big deal.
At Monday's game, I saw a few of the players from Joe Burns, and I know you're not from around here, so that's that is a huge rivalry.
Oh yeah. Well, for us, it's Graves County and Mayfield City.
Yeah. So so for it doesn't matter what the competition is. When Joe Burns and East Robertson goes against each other, I think it's just ingrained in their blood, both schools. But it was really cool to see some of the Red Devils, some of the Joe Burns players at East the other night, supporting. I don't know, they could have been cheering against us, but it's just nice to see them in the building.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we try to do with all Robertson County teams and things like that, is that this is what we're trying to do. That we want to support them. We want to see them go as far as they can possibly go. And I think that's one of the greatest things about our county. Yeah,
for sure. But I get the rivalry. I truly do. Being a county kid, the city, it was always. And it's so funny because I say so much about how this reminds me of my home, because I see that rivalry. Springfield was kind of like our Mayfield. They were the city school. And so any of the county kids were always against the city school. And but anyway, you just see that rivalry. I get it. And it's fun. I love it when they do the pep rally on the square. Yeah, that is so much fun. And it is just cool. And I just think that's one of the neatest things we do. And so we're basketball for another couple of weeks as we play next week and then on into the weekend. They're going to make it. For you, they're going to make it.
We're going to try to also, and then we got to jump on baseball and
softball.
Yes,
that's what I was going to say.
Some games are being played. Middle school games are already being played.
Yeah.
And I know we cover just basically high school stuff. And so we have baseball, softball, and we also have boys soccer. So boys soccer is also playing. So the springtime is just it's filled with a lot of things, and there's so many more baseball games. And there's so many, for us out there at East, we broadcast all the football games, and then I tell all the sponsors, I'm like, you got to give us about 6 games. There might be 6 games that we don't broadcast during basketball season. And that's for a couple different reasons. Scheduling, and also you go into some schools and they just don't have the best Wi-Fi or the best
you just can't
service.
make a connection.
You just can't make a connection. And I think people are getting spoiled out there because as we broadcast, and if I don't broadcast, and there's another reason why I don't broadcast, because if a school is in FHS, which I should ask Coach Brown about that the other day, that would have been one of my only hot spot questions, because I'm not a huge fan of a school if they're NFHS affiliated, then they can tell you can't come in and broadcast the game.
Yeah.
So I understand it, but at the same time, it's an opposing teams. Anyways, so that's the only reasons why we don't broadcast. And this year there was a couple of times where I couldn't broadcast, and people were a little irritated. And I was just like, hey, like, I'm only one person, and I don't make all the rules, and and so. But no, it's going to be, and of course, when you get to this point, you can't broadcast anyways, because it's on the TV and all that stuff like that. I can't come in and I can't set up anything, which is good, because sometimes now I get to start just capturing video and content for the end of the year video and things like that. So last year we had a really great end of the year video, and the fans and the players really loved it. One of the things I was able to do at the end of the season during their banquet, gave every player a little jump drive that had every picture that I could find, all the videos that I shot, the main video shot, and then you can buy the games from, there's a company that sells the games, the state tournament games. So they had played 3 games. So we got all those games and we put them on the jump drive and gave to the players. So they had like a little,
cool.
Kind of like a little time capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, what a treasure that would be. It would be so cool if I could go back and see video of the things that I did. Do you have video of your playing?
No, I have stone carvings, where they...
You're quite a bit younger than me, so I'm really kind of surprised you don't have some video.
No, I actually do have a couple videos. I actually have our state championship game.
Okay, very good.
Against Middleton, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would imagine, because, like I said, you were playing in the 90s.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
We had the OV8, the video camcorder, the big ones, not the little handy cams, but,
The one that you put the full-size VHS tape in.
Yeah.
I have one of those. That was the first, because when my twins were born in 91, I got one of those, and I videotaped my kids from the very get-go, so I get that. So I figured you might have something out there.
Yeah.
But, I played in the 70s. There's nothing. Just our memories. So.
Well, in the 70s, you had 8mm and stuff. People could have done it, but not everybody had that.
No, we were the county. We were the country kids.
Click, 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 click.
Yeah, exactly. And that was before fax machines, y'all.
Yeah.
We could go down a rabbit hole here. I vividly remember being able to rent movies and go, I don't have to watch it on television or catch it in the theater. I can watch it when I want to. That was just crazy to me.
You probably remember the party line where you had to call somebody and they had to physically connect you.
Well, I remember picking up a phone and hearing somebody talking on the line. Not vividly, but I do remember that just a little bit when I was really young, because I was born in 62, so that was kind of going away. But in the county, my mother, I need to ask her about that, how long we had because I'm pretty sure we had a party line for a while, but it was before I was really allowed to use the phone,
So if you're going through Cross Plains, if you're coming from Springfield and you're going into the four-way stop, like you pass the school, you pass where y'all do the Blue Crest thing down there.
Yes.
So you go into the flashing red light. Right there on the left, there's a little small white building. And it's right before the Methodist church is on the right. So right before you get to the Methodist church, and that's the old phone.
I know where that is in my home, too, in Grace County, because it's on the main road on the 45 highway heading into Mayfield. On the left, there's a little building, and that was the telephone building. Yes, that's where the switchboard was. I talk to my students about this, and they just look at me like, what planet are you from? They just, they're just so intrigued. But I'll tell you, let's pause and let's go ahead and tell them how to find you, NIxon Pro Media, before we do an ad for Barry and Rebecca.
NIxonPro.com. And I'm telling you right now, I'm running a little bit of a special. If you're a company out there, and you got somebody doing your social media or doing your website, that's great. But if you have a logo and you want to get it animated for it to move in and do different things, something cool you can put on videos or put on your social media, give us a call. We're doing animated logos for $50.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be calling you.
Okay.
I got some things I want to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to do something with that. Oh, that'd be fun for our school too, for our audio video program. Ooh, we got to talk.
Okay.
We got to talk. You just got me. Okay. So we're going to be doing some business. And with that said, also too, the veterans Orange Heart Veterans. It's a Vietnam vet celebration. You're doing social media for these guys, and Ken Gamble, my sweet friend, and I'm so honored to be able to host this every year. And it was so funny. I was like, so what's the day? He goes, Laverne, it's Vietnam Veterans Day. Okay, that's March 29th. I'm bringing some of my kiddos, and really excited to be able to share this with them because I want them to know the history that your freedom's not free, y'all. And these guys right here from Vietnam, they were not honored in the proper way, and so we're just going above and beyond now. And what Ken's got going on with the Orange Heart Medal Foundation, just brilliant and just beautiful, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. It is on the 29th of this month at Springfield Memorial Gardens, and we will be there at noon, so I hope you'll be there as well. I want to remind you about one of our sponsors up in Cross Plains, talking about Cross Plains up there by the East Robertson Indians. They are Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. I met them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. That's why that always comes up. They're part of the sponsorship there, and they're always there. But you do not have to wait until the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival to talk to Barry and Rebecca. You can, I love how they set their tent up and they have a table, and you can come and sit around the table with them and talk to them about all your real estate questions at the festival. You can do that anytime. All you have to do is just pick up the phone and give Rebecca a call and get on their schedule, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. If your property that you're trying to sell is not getting any traction, nobody's taking a look at it, you probably need new pictures, you probably need video, you maybe even need drone footage, and Barry can take care of all that. He was vice president of a media marketing company for over 17 years in Nashville, and then he took that expertise and brought it into the real estate community. And they're just awesome couple. I call them a team, but he goes, no, we compete against each other. She's been at this a long time, over 15 years, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, which means she studies, she crosses every T, dots every I. They've been up in Cross Plains 27 years, I think. So they specialize in Robertson County properties, but also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Cannot say enough about my friends, Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, BUY, RobertsonCounty.com. Always thank them for sponsoring One Street Over and let them know you turned sent you. What else do we need to talk about, my friend, for United Way folks? Brian and Tiffany come along in here.
Well, right now, today's the deadline for all of the East Robertson fans to buy the commemorative state tournament appearance T-shirt.
I saw that on...
Yep.
Yeah.
We are. I am honored and privileged again that the NIxon Pro team got to design that.
Oh, wonderful! And
last year we designed it with a lot of hidden meanings, and the grade color was, it was a 00 something 2022. So it kind of went with the year, and then
sure.
And there's just different things that we did inside there. But this year, at the very front, the very front of the shirt, it says, "Is 14 times a tradition." Because this is our 14th state tournament appearance.
Nice.
And then it's got these little rectangles that kind of, it looks like it would, if it was a straight line, it'd just be a circle, but we broke it up into little bitty rectangles. Mm-hmm. And then there's a 5 gold rectangles representing the 5 state championships, 1 silver one representing the runner-up. And so we have that on there with the state of Tennessee and the ER logo. And then on the back, it has all of our state tournament appearances, and once again in gold, the actual years. And then in gold it has the winning ones and the silver ones, and then pretty much everything, almost anything that we do now that we put in print somewhere, if we make something, we still continue to honor the legacy of Melvin Sharklet, who was a volunteer for over 42 years at our school. The court's named after him. The things that Melvin did for our community, for our basketball program, for our football program, baseball program. He was one of the original people that started a booster club for the entire school. But most people know him for his career there with started out with Coach David Colley, moved on to Neil Murphy, who was a player who came back to coach. And then also Melvin helped out Coach Caton in his beginning years. So on the back of the shirt, it has our big M logo. It's a basketball with an M in it, and it's kind of made inside there where it looks like a basketball. You don't have to look too hard, but if you just glanced at it, you wouldn't see the M, but the M is in there, and it's the same logo that's on the court. So we just want to continue to honor him, and we know that he's very happy right now.
He's in your crowd. He's in your crowd of witnesses up there.
Yeah, back-to-back state tournament appearances. Yeah. It's starting to feel kind of like the old days. Yeah. Back in the '80s, the late '80s, when East was making a lot of runs. The community's on fire once again. The gym was packed, like I said, and it was just great to see the community come out. But today at 2 p.m. is your deadline to order your shirt.
Okay.
Last year I took orders and I took Venmo money, and then people picked them up, and it was a big ordeal. So this year I had a company, we gave the artwork to a company, and they opened up a link. So you click on that link on the Facebook page, you go in there, you order, you pick out your sizes, tell them how many you want, you pay your money, and then Wednesday you can pick up the shirts between 8 and 12.
Okay, next Wednesday before you go to the
Right.
tournament. Because I saw the shirt and I didn't pull it up to read it, and I didn't know if it was like, oh, this is our, remembrance of the city. Like I said, I apologize. I didn't know what happened with the game. And let me just, with you being out of town next week, if you want to come on via phone on Thursday, because you may, have some real exciting. Just let me know whatever you want.
I'll be traveling. I'll be driving.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So it might be a great time. I definitely might call in. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. When you win, you're gonna want to be all. You're gonna be excited. So it's gonna be like they did it for me.
Well,
right.
Well, here's the thing. Before I get off there and let the guys from United Way come in, I really felt I'm sitting there commentating and broadcasting this game for 3 quarters, thinking this is all my fault because I made it known that we had never lost a sub-state game at home. In the history, we've never lost a sub-state game at home. And I was like, do you know that we've never lost a game at home? We've never lost. I kept saying that. And then halfway through that quarter, I'm like, why'd you open your big mouth? It's because, it happens all the time. You talk about somebody, well, so-and-so hasn't missed any free throws this whole game.
And then you like freak them out, and they're like, oh.
And they didn't hear me say it.
Yeah,
you put it out there into the existence, and all of a sudden it happens. And so I'm sitting there going, all right, listen, I need the legends to show up. I need the spirits to show up.
That's awesome. That's great. I love that.
Sean Grove showed up and shut a kid down, and the rest of the team, made free throws, played really good defense, made some baskets. And my hat is off to Coach Caton, Coach Jimbo Vaughn, Coach Azzaro, and that whole East Robinson team. They did a great job battling back in the fourth quarter.
Very exciting, and we'll just be cheering you guys on next week, and just Godspeed on your trip. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jamie NIxon, NIxon Pro Media. Reach out to him for that $50 special for an animated logo. I'm going to do that. I got a couple things I'm working on. That's a deal, y'all. Yeah, I need some help with that. So he sold me that quickly. So we're going to let Brian and Tiffany come waltzing on in here. We're going to talk for a moment about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. I quote Brian all the time. I'm going to have to give him some kind of kickback on my sponsorships because he talks all the time about how that he got all of his bedding plants from Corbin last year, and his garden was never better. And it is just about time to get your garden planted. You brought a young feller in here. Oh my goodness, I love this. We got a couple of save the dates at Corbin. The first one is coming up. This is going to be on April 1st, April Fool's Day, 9 a.m. That is the Full Bloom Festival at Corbin Creek Greenhouse, and we want you to be a part of that. And then they've got their Mother's Day. Well, they're going to talk about Mother's Day, but it's May 13th at 9 a.m. That's Customer Appreciation Day. But they're going to have planting stations for the kiddos. You can create the perfect Mother's Day basket. They're going to have free hot dogs for all. And when I saw that, Brian, I remember you talking about how your daughter always comes in and picks out the perfect Mother's Day basket.
She's really good.
For grandma or for mom?
For my mom, and then we got my wife too. So we went this last year, and he actually went with me and did the picking last year. He likes the free hot dogs out there.
Oh,
so
my
I'm gonna
goodness.
say, if you got kids, it's great. They can run around. They got a real friendly lab that runs around out there usually. It's a really cool day for your kids.
We did it last year too.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like
Yes.
they got to plant their own plants, and and my basket was beautiful all
There you
year
go.
long. It was
Testimonials. I'm just
Happy
like,
mamas.
Yeah.
There
Happy
you go.
mamas. What do they say? Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life.
There needs to be a happy mama, happy something. But it's
Yeah.
the same premise, y'all.
You got
Make mama happy, everything's cool.
You got it. What's
All
this
right.
young man's name?
This is Henry.
Hey, Henry.
He's still a little sleepy.
Welcome. Yeah, it's
This
like
is
it's
Miss
so
LaFleur.
early.
Mom's out of town for work, and
Yeah.
so he's rolling with me this morning so I can get him to school, and
Well,
we
there
got
you
Sissy to
go.
school on time, so we're doing good.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, well, we're glad to have you guys help us out with the Corbin Creek ad because they're wonderful. They're at 4920 Highway 161. If you want to give them a call, it's 615-384-3185. 615-384-3185. Cannot say enough about the personal touch that they offer. Go to the Corbin Creek Greenhouse Facebook page and just stay up to date on everything they've got going on. Still on winter hours according to the page, 10 to 4 Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday from 1 to 4. I'll get an update from her. I was heading out there Friday, and of course the storms were just so bad, and I finally just said I don't think I need to bother her. And when you look at the they didn't have any, I don't think they had any damage, but the plastic came off the greenhouses, and that flapping around and blowing in the wind, you had to reattach all that, and we also had some barn damage, and so we were just like, yeah, we're gonna leave Amy alone today.
Yeah, it was not a good day to be on the road either.
Yeah, we're gonna go back, and I may get out there today, but I've got to get with her for my CBD products and get
That's right.
restocked.
We went
because-
out on Thursday before the storm, and the planters outside the United Way office are now planted with Corbin Creek flowers.
I
So
love
Beautiful too.
yeah,
Beautiful.
they're
Can we say more?
yeah.
Corbin Creek Greenhouse, Gibson Gardening Center. Go and talk to them today. Let them know that everybody in this room sent you. So
That's right.
Get going with it. And thank you guys for coming on in here and being a part of everything. Any of you guys got any ties to East Robertson?
I do have a tie to East Robertson actually.
Oh, you do?
I do have a good one.
Okay. I thought you were going to be. We were talking the rival,
No, they were always it was a fun basketball game growing
Yeah.
up. They were probably the Springfield when I was coming up dominated in basketball around here.
Yeah.
But East Robertson was the closest right behind us. Now they played in a different classification
Sure, they
because they're a
played in-
smaller
yeah.
school, but we still played them every year.
Yeah.
And they were some of the toughest games you want to play in. They always had really good players. But my stepfather, who's like a father to me growing up, right, he played for East Robertson and was a great player. Could play
Okay.
college ball, but he stayed back to work on the farm. Denny Schote, if he's not listening because he's still asleep, but he's retired now. But he was a really good basketball player, and so he was a big East guy. So we state tournaments in the 80s when they were winning all
Okay.
those, we watched, and so I always had a little bit of affection for East Robertson. It wasn't nearly like the Greenbrier thing that I have
Yeah.
going on, but they were always really good competition. So very happy to see them doing so well,
Yeah.
and we pull for them for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, that game is Wednesday. If you missed what Jamie had to say, he said, I think 4:00 Wednesday.
This upcoming Wednesday.
It'd be
Next
this
week,
guy- in
because the girls are
Murfreesboro.
playing right now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the boys will be next week.
And
Okay.
so cheer on East Robertson, guys. Robertson
Yeah.
County, do it. That'll be
They've
so
always
much
had
fun.
great basketball.
Got to
Yeah.
get your shirts today. I think by noon. So just too loud. You're so cute. Oh my stars. How old is he?
5.
Oh bless.
Yeah.
You're adorable.
Is Daddy talking too loud?
Yeah, it's like, I'm sleepy, Daddy. So much fun. You'll have to show him this later and show
Yeah.
himself. Well, here, let you
Look.
say. You're on camera.
Look at you.
Hey, Henry. I love
You're a
your
good-looking
name.
dude.
I love that name, Henry.
Yeah,
That's a strong
it fits
name.
him. That's a good strong
Yeah.
name. It fits him.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So, all right, what are we going to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. It's been crazy. I spent the last 2 days at the Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth Conference, and
Okay.
so it's amazing to see the things that we're doing in Tennessee to improve the lives for children and
Yeah.
youth, and they had some amazing speakers come in and talk to us about just things that they're doing. And but one of my things I'm most excited about, you guys all know I'm a CASA. I love CASA. I used to work for CASA. So child welfare is huge in my heart, but they are increasing the pay for every single DCS worker and increasing the time that they train them and reducing their caseloads, which is like what we've been begging for a long time, because the burnout rate, I think it was 95% of them quit in the first year.
And that's
DCS
the-
workers, there's
Yeah.
an overturn of like 95%. Well, that's a problem.
And of course that ties into why CASA is so important, because that's the stability in these kids' families that sometimes, and these kids' lives that are sometimes having 5 DCS workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
I've been advocating for a case for a year, and they had a caseworker, and then they had another caseworker, and then it went back to the first caseworker, and now it's on the fourth time
crazy.
it's changed hands. And so me and the Guardian ad litem have been like, the most consistent and stuff. So anyway, yeah. So I'm super excited about that. I really think we're going to see a change with those changes that they've made. They're going to have like real life simulations where the DCS workers can like go into a house and they have actors portraying these situations, and they can like use their skills. I am just amazing. I really think that is going to really help solve the crisis. We are truly in a crisis with child welfare here in Tennessee.
Yes.
I think we're like number 1 in the nation in crisis.
That's just unbelievable to me.
So that is not a number you want to be. We want to lower that a little bit. So it's just that was the thing I was the most excited about from the whole entire conference. But I learned a lot about brain development, adverse childhood experiences, but also positive childhood experiences. We don't talk about that enough. But so anyway, that's kind of where my brain has been the last couple of days. But we definitely got stuff going on. You gonna talk about the?
I am, and you can jump in here. And I mentioned this last week, but we have our bedtime books going on right now. And so if you're interested, there's several ways to get involved. And
you're so cute. That's Henry.
He'll be talking by the end of this. So, let me talk.
You're so cute.
You can make a kit. You can host a collection drive. You can just donate financially to the cause. A $35 donation provides a kit to one child in the community. You can volunteer. We'll be putting everything together on April 5th and have some deliveries, and we'll have some deliveries here local too. So if your company is interested or you're interested individually, we would love to have you get involved in this. We're so happy to bring back our Literacy Day of Action so we can help young people like Henry learn how to read.
That's right.
Because he doesn't know how to read. You don't know how to read, do you? You don't know how to read.
A little bit.
One book.
Very good.
Awesome.
So what is the deadline on this? Because
March 31st. So
March 31st. Because see, we talked about this on Thursday. Oh, he's fine. He's adorable. He is just making us all giggle, and we love him. Are you going to hear yourself? That's on a micro. I wish I had some headphones so you could hear yourself. But yeah, you'll have to let Dad so you can hear yourself talk on the microphone later. But the deadline, when we talked about it on Thursdays, and we had all the wind and everything, so we weren't in school on Friday. Completely forgot to talk to my students about it. But I want to get my homeroom, my cat time kids. I want to say, hey, let's do this. And so remind me what we need. We need a book.
You need a book.
And we need a toothbrush and toothpaste, right? And it's a stuffed animal. Because it's a bedtime kit.
All new, obviously.
Right.
And so we're trying to promote healthy bedtime routines and reading the 20 minutes at night, which is recommended for literacy, and just, like brushing your teeth, having the book, having your little something to cuddle with, so those nice bedtime routines, and get a restful night's sleep so you can be alert and ready to go at school the next day.
I'm going to put this out to the staff, because we have a way we can send out something to the entire staff. So I'm just going to,
Are you on my email list? Because I just got the Robertson County specific stuff while I was at the conference. So I haven't sent it out yet. But
I don't know.
You don't get emails from me on not regular. I probably about once a month I send out emails about kind of what's going on. So I can put you on the email list and you can send
Laverne
it
at lavernvideo.com is the best. If you need to get in touch with me, that's my forever email, because I've got all these other things that are connected. I've got a church email. I've got a school email. But Laverne at lavernvideo.com, LAVERN at lavernvideo.com, and you can also go to lavernvideo.com and email me from my webpage. So but just I would love to get that. But I think this is we've got a literary initiative at Greenbrier, and so with our homeroom, our cat time, we have been reading and doing the things, and I think what a better way to reinforce that literary initiative as to say, hey, let's help the kiddos with this. So,
and this is one that unfortunately went away for a couple of years.
Yeah, because of COVID.
Because it can be in the schools, and we want to deliver directly in the schools and all that, and it's complicated things. So we're really excited to bring it back, because it's one of our pillars, education, obviously, and so ties right into that. And obviously, we have the Imagination Library that we've had forever, but also this is just a nice because when the kids borrow books from schools, a lot of times if they don't return, they can't borrow another book. So this is a book they
can keep.
They take home, and so for those that may not be in the Imagination Library, they can maybe add to their home library so they have books to read. I know we do it every night, and some of those Imagination Library books, I'm going to do a little plug here for that. Like we go back to. My daughter had one that we read to her when she was little. She picked it out last night. We went back to it, and so it's just great to have that library. Yeah.
Well, and the Imagination Library, if you're not aware of it, that's the Dolly Parton initiative to get books into the hands of little ones, and that's one of those things that I try. When I was doing English second language with my friends from Egypt, their little kids, I got them signed up because I said, you need this because it helps with English and all of the things. But it's just such an amazing program. But so many parents just won't take the time to do it, or maybe they move around and they get, so there's address issues and all of those things. So I just love the sound of this. I think this is perfect for our kids at Greenbrier to get involved with.
And I'm telling you, when I had my first child, the people that threw the shower for my wife, they did it.
They signed. Did they get you books, or did they sign?
They gave me a great little. They had a thing, and so they put like advice in there. It was a cool thing they did at the shower. And my mama Marie, who's now 99 years old, still alive. The thing she put in there. She said, read to your kids every single night. And I've done that since they were little.
Yeah.
My daughter is a fantastic reader, is a fourth grader now, and he has a lot of interest in it. So
yes.
It's one of the best things you can do for your kids is read to them and get them in that practice early. Because I think educationally, if you can read and have reading comprehension, buddy, then that opens up your world. Math and all that is great. We need to do that. But if you can read and understand stuff, I have to do that every day in my job. I think we all do. It's very important. So,
I love it. Henry, here you go. Here's a marker and something to write on. Here you go.
Buddy. We did good for like 8 minutes.
Come here.
That's pretty good.
Henry.
That's pretty good.
Henry, draw me a picture.
Yeah.
Draw me a picture. You draw me a picture, I'll give you a piece of paper here. Draw me a picture of your favorite book. How about that, of your favorite story? Help me out there. Can you draw me a picture?
Remember the one
draw me a picture. There's your marker, and here's even a green marker, because it's St. Patrick's Day. Don't lean on the table.
I think he likes green. Look at his outfit.
There you go. Yeah, color. There you go. So anyway, got Henry in the house. We're having fun, and but move over there by Daddy so we get you out of the camera shot. I mean, we'll get you back of your head there. There you go. Now we got your beautiful
so big
face.
It's blocking the camera.
You got we're talking with Tiffany Thomson, Brian Pulley, and Henry Pulley from United Way today. And so, who's our hero of the week?
Man, this week, I think we all, after Friday and what all we've gone through, it's just all of our emergency workers, and particularly our Springfield Electric and Cumberland Electric folks who have been working tirelessly to get our power back on. And I know some of us were longer than others based on your circumstances or what happened on your street. And so we just thank you. My brother's one of them. He's been working pretty much continuously.
Is he with
Cumberland Electric? Okay. He's a lineman with Cumberland Electric. And just so thankful for all of our workers that when we're all sheltering down in the house and trying to worry about our own house, they have to go out and help us continue to function.
Yeah.
Well, and they brought like Tullahoma Electric were the ones that put our power together in the city limits, and like they were on my street until like 10 o'clock at night. They're back out there at 7 o'clock the next morning. It was just incredible to see these partnerships from all over the state come together. And
and that's how they do.
Yeah. It was so cool, and they were like the nicest men. And anyway, so we don't have internet. Not that we want to talk about internet yet, but we still don't have internet. But
we're going to segue right into the next. That's what we're going into.
I'm a little jealous of all the Cumberland Connect customers that have their internet come back up with their electricity because it's a utility. Well, guess what? Comcast is not a utility.
Well, guess what? Here, okay, I have our power was down until Sunday, and I've already told this week, but I'll say it with you guys in here. So our power went out on Friday and didn't come back up until Sunday about 10, and that honestly didn't surprise me because we're down at the dead end of a road. But so when it didn't come back Friday night, we got up Saturday morning and we got the generator out. And so we fired the generator up, and we saved our freezer and our refrigerator and all of those things. But as we were doing that, I thought, I don't see any lines down on my road. The power outage is something that's beyond us. I wonder if my internet still works. So I plugged my router into my generator, and I had internet. Even though I didn't have power, I had a gig still coming into my house because of Cumberland Connect.
There you go.
Wow.
There you
Isn't
go.
that incredible?
That is
I mean, we were roughing it, but I had a gas top stove.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
that's
had
true.
I had gas logs. I had and again I have electric and gas, so I
Same.
like both of them.
Yeah.
And but then I had my internet from Cumberland Connect. So even when my power was, they were still trying to get all the lines working beyond us. My internet still worked. I just plugged it into the generators. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We, we made it.
My
So-
house has been back in the 90s for a whole week now.
Is
so-
it kind of nice?
No. I mean, yes, in some ways, but I go to school online, and so I've had to
Yeah.
like stay in the office late at night, so I'm not home with my kids because that would be where there's internet and like.
Yeah.
And my kids, I told them yesterday. I said, "Well, this has been spring break because they're homeschooled, and so we
Yeah.
do. They are an online academy, and so I was like, this has been spring break since we didn't do school this week, and they threw a fit.
Oh,
No, our spring break. And so finally they're like, but you made us go to school on all those snow days, and I was like, you're right. I was like, so I guess.
Yeah, sure got- yeah.
I guess okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But yeah,
That's funny.
So-
Yeah, you've got such a beautiful family. I see you on social media. Y'all are so cute. But Cumberland Connect, let's just wrap this up. 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. It's now a utility, like Tiffany was saying. And people recognize that, and that's why it's being powered through Cumberland Electric. And if you want to know if they're in your neighborhood, just go online. You can go to cumberlandconnect.org, cumberlandconnect.org, or you can just give them a call at 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. And remember the Affordable Connectivity Program, providing qualifying households with monthly credit up to $30 to help pay for internet services and broadband services if you qualify. Check it out today and let them know that Tiffany, Brian, and U-Turn and Henry sent you.
That's right.
Say Henry sent you.
Say Henry sent you.
Say Henry sent you. No? Okay, yeah. He's going to be all shy now anyway. But thank you so much, Cumberland Connect, for being one of our full-time sponsors. All right, what else do we need to talk about? I'm thinking tax services.
yes, that was definitely
yes.
on the list today with
Okay.
Vida, and so we are what about are we halfway through the tax season yet? Not
Not
quite
yet,
yet, but we're
not
getting
yet.
there. And
Yeah.
so Vida Saturdays from 9 to 1 at the district office. Go and get your taxes done. It's 100% free if your household makes under $70,000 a year. And if you make more than $70,000 a year and you still need help getting your taxes done, we do have another program that is not as as needed, but we have connections to help you get connected. So if you need your taxes done, think of United Way. We are here for you.
I love it. So
We'll
it's just such a
unite
great
you back
service.
with your money.
I haven't done mine yet. So
I haven't
it's a
either.
good reminder.
I haven't done
I put it off. I
mine.
procrastinate.
I do
It's bad.
too. I file an extension every year. I truly do. I don't know why. I just got in the habit of that, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna file an extension.
I will.
I don't know.
I put my husband on that this year. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I've got too much going on with school and work, so you're doing taxes, and all week long he's been like, if we had internet, I would have already been filing the
That was
taxes.
it. That was it.
Yeah.
Using the internet.
It's like, so once we get the internet back, we'll see if that's still the excuse. But yeah, so
Yeah. So
Anyway,
get your taxes done, y'all.
That's right.
Get your taxes
That's right.
done. Everybody I've ever dealt with the IRS are super nice. So don't be intimidated by the IRS. I hate to see people, they just freak out over taxes. And we ran a business for 20 years. We had we had to deal with the IRS from time. We got audited one time, big time, and it's probably about 10, 15 years into our company, and it couldn't have gone any better. Now it was cumbersome, and it cost us some money with our accountants and all of that kind of thing. It was what it was. We didn't owe them a penny, and could not have been nicer. Could not have been nicer to work with. And I just say that again and again. I have never had a problem with the IRS because I don't ignore a letter. If I get a notice, I reach out. I'm like, okay, what do we, what's this? What do you need? When we were running our business, do not let, I don't like it when people listen to the naysayers, and it's, the IRS is kind of like expectant moms for the first time, where they hear all these scare things. I just want to get a hold of people that try to scare people. Quit it.
Yeah.
Quit it. Don't do that.
They're just
Don't do
we've
that.
worked with some through this role
Yeah.
now, and then also knew a couple people growing up, that family friends.
Yes.
They're just professional people like
Yes.
everybody else, and they're doing their job.
Yes.
And you got to pay your taxes. So it's like we all know this. It's not a mystery. But
No.
what's great about this free tax program is I think that it takes some of that intimidation factor
Yes.
out, because you have people that are working with you that are working like they want to help you.
Yes.
And they know what they're doing. And I
Yeah.
think that's what a lot of us like, I don't know what I'm doing. Who knows all these tax laws and codes?
Yeah.
They understand what they need to be doing. So you get your maximum refund, and or if you do owe a little bit of money or whatever you need to do to get everything correct, they're going to help you with that. But the main thing is they're going to try to maximize that refund, because that's what we're looking for. We all pay in all year long, and so
Yeah.
And VITA is just part of our financial empowerment center. Like United Way has a much bigger where you can actually meet with people that will help you figure out your finances, like how to get out of debt, we just had a report from the Financial Empowerment Center. They are, like I said, it's another like branch of United Way, and they are celebrating their 10-year anniversary this year. And they just got like a new office, and it's just kind of a big old thing, but they've been able to help people. I think they said something like $40 million out of debt in the last 10 years that they've been open. They've helped people get out, dig their way out of debt, get on a financial path. And so if you're like me, and it was just kind of like growing up, finances were taboo, we just didn't talk about it. So then you get to be an adult, and it's like, well, go figure it out on your own. And most of us are like, I don't, unless you're just naturally inclined that way or super nerdy about it, and you want to like learn all the things about it, which I'm not. I'm like, that's just not the way my brain works. But so you can go to the Financial Empowerment Center, and they do online nowadays, and so you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home, and you can sit and. Somebody who's trained in this, they've seen worse. Sometimes people are like, oh, I'm afraid to go to the doctor. And I'm like, why? They've seen way worse than whatever you got going on. It's the same with these people. Whatever you think that you're embarrassed about, they've got way more. They've seen way worse.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to feel embarrassed. You can reach out and be like, hey, I'm in a pickle, and I don't know how to get out. I think so many times we drowned in our own stuff.
Well, and you're just afraid to look at it, and we want to put our head in the sand like an ostrich, and it's like
Not dealing with that. Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it. And this is something too. After we get through tax season, I want you guys to help me identify somebody that can come in, because I've got a introduction to business and marketing class, and I've got a business communication class. Not so much for the business communication class, except for there was a student in that class that mentioned nobody's ever taught me about taxes. And they need to know, and that's not to say that there's not a class that does that, they just haven't had the opportunity. And it should be one of those just basic life lessons that when you're in high school, here's how taxes work, you guys. And I've tried to do a little bit of it. That's something that, because I grew up in a farm family that was, when you're a farmer, you run a business. And so I grew up with that. And my mother handled all that. And so I got that from them. And so I grew up in a very financially responsible family, and I was taught that from knee high. So I understood it. So I was blessed with that. And so, but if you're not, I will start talk just basic things about taxes with the students, and I'm like, you don't realize that?
It was funny. My kids are in a homeschool co-op, and one of my daughters is in a class called Adulting 101, and they talked about taxes. She came home, she's like, Mom, I learned about W-4s, and she was saying this to our friend who's 20, and she was like, oh, I don't even know anything about any of that.
Exactly.
And so it can be overwhelming. You start throwing out numbers like W-2 and W-4 and I-90 or whatever, 1099. That's what it is. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's the new language. And so if you're not used to that language, it can feel foreign and scary, and you just don't want to deal with it.
Because that's not in the curriculum specifically. I mean, I guess it but I'm going to do a section on taxes, especially with the business and marketing.
Great at that.
Yeah.
And, but I'm going to wait until after tax season.
Will Swalling works for the district. He's the one that runs our VITA site, and so
I'll talk to him. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah,
he'd be the one.
He's the one that kind of pulled.
I mean, for most of us, that's the first time you get any kind of introduction to it, is when you start having your first job, and you're like, all right, what is this thing I have to do now? At the end? Right. Oh, I get money back if I know what I'm doing here a little bit.
I may reach out to him, because some of these students, they need to file taxes, because they're working part time, and so they do need to file something. So I don't know. I may see if I can't get him in even beforehand. But anyway, what else have we got, guys? We got a couple of minutes here.
Well, we got the hats purse drive going on. If you've got purses that.
What's the date on that? Remind me.
They're selling in June. I don't know when we're going to stop.
But it's the drive
So the drive is happening
right now.
so the drive is happening right now. But yeah, the big purse sale is in June, and so bring your purses by the United Way office. We are collecting all your bags that are sitting in the back getting dusty. I've got a few. Bring them by the United Way office, and so we're excited to put those to use, and for the members of our community that are doing amazing work like hats. Hats is definitely like the unsung nonprofit. I feel like we have so many unsung
there
nonprofits.
really are.
And if you're one of those nonprofits, on March 30th we're having a nonprofit roundtable. So anybody who is in the and not just nonprofits, but anybody really working in the humanitarian sector, solving the problems that we have here in Robertson County, on March 30th, we are gathering at the YMCA. United Way is serving lunch, and we are having a speaker come and talk to us about volunteer work, but mostly it's an opportunity to network, to kind of figure out what other people are doing, how we can build those bridges in the community so that nonprofits don't feel so siloed. Then that's what we do. We get in our little nonprofit world. This is what I do. This is, and I'm focused on this, but really there's other people doing work that can benefit what you're doing. And so, that's Unite with United is the name of that event.
Oh,
so,
I like that.
Yes.
Yep.
And so anyway, just email me at Tiffany.Thomson, Thomson. Don't put a P in it, at UnitedWayGN.org.
So tell me this, do you need to pre-register for this, or can you just come down?
I would love it if you'd let me know, because lunch is provided.
That's
so
what I
that's
figured.
the biggest reason. And we know how many chairs to set up. It's open, so anybody who can make it, please come. But that's
who's doing lunch? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's always it.
I gotta read
it's like, you find out who's doing lunch. It's like, I'll be there. No, get them there. But what she said about being a bridge builder to the nonprofits is what United Way is. And for a long time, I didn't realize really what you guys were all about. And I'm so thankful you are in my life.
Yes,
Y'all got
ma'am. Same here.
Any other parting thoughts? Howdy. Your shirt's cracking me up. Howdy. But any other parting thoughts as we head out?
No, just go. There's always, like, if you need a place to plug in, we've got a place for you. So
if you're looking for those volunteer hours, kiddos with the scholarships and all of the things,
absolutely,
reach out to them at United Way. Doors always open.
Yeah,
Ron?
We're good. We're kind of in the planning phase right now for our, a lot of our fall campaigns, and then also working on our days of action and trying to get sponsorships, get our companies involved, get individuals involved, and just get people engaged. And so that's kind of where we're at this time of year. But just thankful for our community and what they do for us every day, and allow us to serve our partner agencies.
Outstanding.
Yep.
Bye, Henry. You gonna come tell us bye? You gonna come say bye on the microphone?
Say bye on the mic.
Bye, young man. Bye. See you guys later. Thank you for joining us here on 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.